The Olympic Stadium in Seoul in 1988, when the Korean capital was staging the Summer Olympic Games. But now, in the cold spring of 1993, Seoul becomes the venue for a world title fight featuring one of the all-time Oriental boxing greats. The Koreans call him Hands of Stone. His real name is Sung-Kil Moon. He's the WBC Super Flyweight champion. Moon has successfully defended the title 7 times. Now he's aiming to make it 8 in a row. The challenger is Panama's Hilario Zapata, who is a former world champion. He's also a reformed drug addict who's literally fighting his way back from the gutter. Zapata is currently only living on boxing memories. He held world titles at flyweight and light flyweight in the early and mid-80s. But 6 years ago, he developed a disastrous taste for drugs and alcohol. Physically and mentally, he hit the bottom of the barrel. However, there was help on hand from his friends in boxing, and Zapata fought his way back to fitness and has returned to the ring in top shape. In the past year, he's won 4 comeback fights. His camp say the drugs are definitely a thing of the past.
He went in a program that they have in Panama named Teen Challenge. He went in there for 6 months. Then he came out of that and started to train again, and from that we makes 9 fights. That means that we feel he comes back from the drugs, and is going to be an example for all boxers that can leave the drugs, come back and win a title.
Well, Zapata will need to be at his very best to cope with the Korean champion, Sung-Kil Moon. Moon, the greatest of the Oriental champions, has seen off 7 previous challengers for the WBC Super Flyweight crown. All his title fights have been in Korea. The cynics say it's hard to beat home advantage. They point to 3 title fights when the injury-prone Moon has won on sometimes controversial decisions. The temperature in Seoul was at freezing point on the day of the fight. This is typical early spring weather for the Koreans, but not, of course, for the natives of Panama. In the challengers' chilly dressing room, they were having to take special care to keep Zapata warm. And for the Panamanians' experienced manager, Luis Spada, there was just time before the fight to assess the qualities of both fighters.
Well, there are 2 completely different styles. Hilario Zapata is not easy to be hit, and Sung-Kil Moon is a puncher. He's throwing punches wide open, and I think it's going to be a very interesting fight.
Let's go ringside in the Olympic Fencing Stadium for this WBC Super Flyweight Championship. It's scheduled for 12 rounds. Your commentators, as ever, are Jim Watt and, first of all, Reg Guttridge.
So, announcing then the officials. Let's hope they can come. And there he is, not only the officials, he's a murderous little puncher, this Korean. Only 19 fights and lost only 1. Had to spread his career out because of many injuries. That's been his problem. And now we're wondering now how this little fella, can he make a comeback? Almost, well, dragged off the streets at one time, destitute, and what a great little champion he has been. Between 80 and 87, twice light flyweight champion of the world. He hasn't had any luck in career in the past. There's the first judge from America. And that's Herbert Lim from Hawaii. James Haber from Australia. And it was Dave Moretti from the States. And the referee, Toby Gibson, another American. I've seen him work before, actually, but he bows nicely. He's got the right idea in career, get them on his side. Well, it's going to be an interesting now to see just what Zapata's got left at 34. Because Sung-Kil Moon first saw him in the Los Angeles Olympics when he stopped John Hyland of Liverpool. And even at that time, he knew he would go on to be a professional champion. Although he didn't win a gold because he was cut in the quarterfinals. Super fly, 52 kilos, 8 stone 3. They're both coming half-pound lighter. So the southpaw then, Zapata, the first really serious fight he's had. He's won 9 in his comeback between 1990 and 92, including a 12-rounder last time up, but I doubt if he's fought anybody of this caliber that really can punch like a mule for this weight. And I'll tell you, Jim, 23 world title fights he's had. This would be another rags to riches story for the Panamanian, but I very much doubt if he can manage it. What do you think?
Yeah, well, you just wonder, he has so much behind him, Reg. You know, 23 world championship fights, obviously, and life in general has taken his toll. It's remarkable that he's actually challenging again for a world championship. I'll be surprised because if he can do anything against this little fella, because he's a little bit special.
So they're getting off to a fast start. Well, I suppose you expect that from flyweights, but not necessarily. But Ian fights, you know, the slaughter stuff, Sun Kill Moon. He really does. He's still got a bit of fight in him by the look of it, Zapata. Well, I wish him luck. The odds are certainly against him.
He just looks a little bit ragged, Reggie. You know, he doesn't look tight. His defence doesn't look tight, and his movements don't look sharp enough. You know, it's all kind of swinging arms back at Moon, whereas Moon looking very purposeful.
Yeah, he's fighting from memory, Zapata, isn't he?
See, everything looks loose with Zapata, you know, not coordinated and not nice and tight the way you'd like to see him.
World champions, got to look after their bodies. They can't live any sort of rough life at all and expect to come back in what probably the hardest game of all. What a left hook. That went right to his boots there. And the crowd love it. They don't mind if it's over in one round. I mean, they're totally partisan. They get the 8 count, of course, from referee Gibson.
Well, Zapata's eyes look clear. Yeah, his eyes look clear, Reg, but it's just his body doesn't seem to be responding. It's just not doing the things he wants it to do.
Watch ahead.
Oh, that was a plain enough command. Oh, he's got the sense for it now, I tell you that, Sun Kill Moon. He won't hang about. It's a shame to see a game little guy like this with a great pass being under pressure right from the off. Not only under pressure, but taking stick. Just sheer guts and instinct making this little Panamanian try to fight back, but he cannot slug it out with this guy. Oh dear, that was the one. He'll be lucky to get up from that one, Jim, the way he hit the deck.
Yeah, that one was bang on the chin, Reg. I don't see him actually putting himself back from that one. That was a beauty. Yeah,
no, it's all over. He stopped it. I don't think Zapata's going to be too happy with a quick stoppage like that. But from what we could see there, his eyes, well, in separate orbit at the time. What a puncher this fellow is. 8th defence of the championship. World amateur champion as well. Let's have a look at this first knockdown coming up, Jim.
That's a lovely left hook, Reg. Moon a little bit crude at times, but very effective. But that punch really shook him up. That's the one that actually caused the damage. And from here, his legs very unsteady, and the right hand that actually knocks him over. But his legs had gone already.
And this, of course, the one that finished it. From what we can see now in this replay, Jim, the referee's got to be right.
Yeah, well, I mean, things were really going drastically badly against Zapata. Next little body shot with the right hand that actually catches him bang on the chin. There he goes. Now, that was the perfect punch. No way could he come back from that.
Now, there might be some arguments, I would have thought, from the Zapata camp, but I doubt it. Let's